I think of these matchups, the crazy thing about this divisional weekend, the Chiefs and Bills is my favorite game, right? That's the one that's the one I can't wait for. Tennessee Bengals is real interesting game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every game, Bucks and Rams, come on. But the game where you say the outcome might have more of an impact on the future of the franchises, the players, that could be Green Bay and San Francisco at Lambeau, right? Key, you were the one saying this year, if Aaron Rodgers makes it to the Super Bowl, he ain't going anywhere. I could even do an imitation of Key J. It's like, he's not going anywhere.
I don't sound like that. Nice try.
Yes, exactly. I thought there were two of you. So, Key, what if he loses in his first playoff game? Could that have the opposite effect? Could he bounce because he lost? If getting to the Super Bowl means he stays, what does getting bounced in your first game mean for Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think I think he still, regardless to what the outcome is going to be, I think he still remains a Green Bay Packer, because at this point he would be running away as a failure, and I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he wants to do that. He would be running away as a failure if he didn't make it to the Super Bowl and decided, oh, I'm going to go look for something different. That means you're sitting there saying everything that you have around you, the Kenny Clarks of the world, the Devontae Adamses of the world, they're no good. They can't help you get to a championship.
CJ, I could see that logic, right? If you don't get there, job unfinished. If you do get there, why would I leave? I could also see the opposite logic.
Almost like LeBron winning a championship in Cleveland. Like, I came here to do what I came here to do, and now I want to move on.
And now I bounce. And if you get bounced in the first round, look, this is not the right place for me. I could see both kind of logical, trails.
Well, to add on what Key said, though, that when you start hearing about the relationship with Brian Gutekunst and how it's gotten better, and how you feel like Aaron has gotten everything that he's wanted, Key, his relationship with Matt LaFleur, how that's gotten better. If it's his performance that is lacking in the game that they lose, if they lose to the 49ers, I kind of agree with Key. It would be hard for me to see him end on a negative note like that in your first playoff game. Now you lose, to then say we just can't get out of the NFC. Like we can't get over that hump. I don't know if you leave with that tagged on your back.
You can't run from the truth. See, everybody is looking at Tom Brady, and they're not really paying attention to why Tom left. They keep pointing to Tom. See, Tom did it. Tom left because the team he knew moving forward was in disarray. They had no money. They had no players. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do something different. Had they won the Super Bowl the year that he was left, had they gone to the Super Bowl, Tom Brady still would be in New England.
I think there's some wisdom. I think there's real wisdom there. You can't run from the truth. You have to apply that to the Brady situation. He wasn't running from the truth. He was dealing with the truth. Not enough here. Not drafting well enough. Not spending the money I'm giving them by having a lower salary than I ought to have. There's not enough talent. But Rodgers would be running from the truth. I think that's interesting. But here's another truth. Jimmy Garoppolo. They drafted his replacement, right? Mm-hmm. This could also have an impact on – look, if Garoppolo is not there, I've always looked at the Niners and Aaron Rodgers. He's from the area. He went to school in the area. He'd be going home. They have a very good team. If you airdropped Aaron Rodgers, airlift them out of Green Bay and drop them into Jimmy Garoppolo's spot, I think everyone would be picking them to win the Super Bowl right now, right? And so like Green Bay, that'd be a real good situation, it seems to me. So that is I always like, if he does lose here or whatever the outcome is here, I think there's a non-negligible chance these two quarterbacks could be playing for each other's teams next year.
He's a multitasker. Like, that's what, if you're a quarterback, a point guard, you're a wide receiver, like, you're always multitasking. So yes, I can focus on my wife and focus on my game. I can focus on my family and focus on the playbook. So I think for Aaron Rodgers, he's like one of these beautiful mind characters, like Russell Crowe in the movie. Like, I think
not as smart, but yes. The whole thing of that guy is he's the smartest guy ever. Yeah.
I don't know, man. With the way Aaron plays football, you can build an analogy with his smartness.
You're not lying.
It's pretty up there.
Key, as a Super Bowl champion, Is that true what Rodgers is saying, if I'm interpreting it correctly, that he allows himself to think of the larger goal but is also able to focus in at the task at hand?
Absolutely. Who can't do that play professional sports? If you can't do that and you playing professional sports, then you might as well just stop playing. The focus and your goal is right now, but I also see the big picture down the line. Game 1, but I also know Game 5 is coming up. Game 5, I also know Game 16 is coming up. 16, I'm in the playoffs, or 17, I'm in the playoffs. I know that if I do this, then I can get to the divisional round, who my opponent could potentially be. You know all those things, and it should not affect you in the moment, right then and there.
Does it get to the point of visualization, though? Because he's talking about actually, sometimes you talk to a lot of athletes, and they're like, I just have to keep my visualization, right? Like the thing I'm really imagining on the task at hand right in front of me. And he's saying he can actually, it seems to me, visualize the other stuff and still stay focused on what is in front of him.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I'm focused in on the San Francisco 49ers and advancing to the NFC Championship game, but I also know what SoFi Stadium could potentially look like with all that green and the cheese heads all over the place.
Use it as almost motivation.
You could do that all day long. You do it anyway. Think about it, Max. You probably rode around many years looking at houses, dreaming about them, even though you was in your apartment.
Yeah.
I
think everyone can relate to that. You have a bigger goal, and you even visualize the goal. And if you're doing it right, if you don't allow the dream just to take over and then you lose focus, if you're doing it right, then you focus on the task at hand, like with extra emphasis, because you want that ultimate goal. If that's what Rodgers is saying, it's interesting to me. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.